Miss Dear?
I'm in here. Well, how did you vote in the end?
There's no chance of a division for days.
Did you speak to father?
No, he's still in the country.
Or Arthur Balfour?
No.
But you promised you would.
I said I would if I met him, which I did not. Really, Margie, I don't think you understand the position now that we're in opposition. I'm a perfectly ordinary, common-garden backbencher. Backbenchers are supposed to show some independence, to express their own opinions. And my own personal opinion of the Liberals' education bill is that it's a good one, in most respects.
Ring for tea, will you, Richard?
Anyway, I'm far from convinced that education should be a party political issue.
Well, father's always thought that far too much time and money was spent on education. Especially for working people, it can be a positive disadvantage.
Fine, he's entitled to his opinion, I'm entitled to mine. It's just that I don't happen to think it fair that Catholics and nonconformists should be excluded from our Church of England schools. All I'm going to do is to abstain from voting against that one section of the bill, my own personal gesture.
It'll be taken as a gesture of defiance against your own party.
You rang, my lady?
Hmm? Oh, yes, Edward, bring tea. And ask Hudson to see that catches the post, will you?
Very good, my lady.
Whatever happens, the bill will be thrown out of the window, lock, stock, and barrel. Your father in Lansdowne will see to that.
Well, I think after all her ladyship's done for him, it's disgraceful. The son's got no gratitude.
Well, I think she's cracked a bit once too often in the worm's turn.
No, no, Rose, there's little enough we can say or do that'll make any difference.
She wants her tea.
Oh, gee, the cat's mother.
But they're still at it, hammer and tongs.
Now, look here, Edward, you show a little respect or you won't last very long in this house, and get the tree.
Well, in my last place, it was parlourmaid who served tea.
Well, in this house, we do things properly. You serve it, I supervise. I suppose in your last place you didn't wear gloves.
Yes, I did.
Well, put them on, then.
More tea, Miss Roberts?
Just half a cup. That's enough milk, thank you. I remember when Lady Marjorie first brought Mr. Bellamy to Southwolds. That was before they were married, even. I said there would be trouble one day, and I say it again now.
And that wasn't yesterday. I was a kitchen maid. And I remember old Nanny Lucas saying as how she'd heard Lord and Lady Southwell wasn't over-pleased, not at all. In fact, quite the opposite. Oh, they had no cause to be neither. He was only a Norfolk country parson's son when all's said and done. That's not much catch. Not for the eldest daughter of an earl, and as lovely as any girl in England. But Lady Marjorie, she would have her way. Always has and always will, I've no doubt.
You could say he wasn't really her class.
Oh, Mr. Bellamy's a perfect gentleman.
Well, he wouldn't have got far if Lord Southwell hadn't found him a safe seat in Parliament.
And this house and everything. Mr. Bellamy had a penny to his name.
Yes, we think chilly upstairs.
Well, I think sometimes the poor man's more of a servant than we are, and I wouldn't blame him if he did turn Liberal, like Mr. Winston Churchill. I mean, after the last election, the Tories have finished any old how.
I'm a Tory and proud of it. Don't you start telling me my party's finished, my girl.
It's not me that's turning Liberal.
You're casting aspersions where you've no right.
Who?
And I'd have you know you've just blown a mouthful of crumbs into my teeth. I'd give him a good whipping if he were mine. If I know Tory household like the Southwolds being let down like that, it's wicked, or worse. More bread, please.
But if it's his conscience that's worrying him...
If you're a Tory, you don't need one. You know you're right.
What do you think, Mr. Hudson? What's your opinion?
It's very good of you to ask, Miss Roberts. I think you're a lot of ignoramuses. You're always talking about things you know nothing about.
I like that.
Politics of a gentleman, Mrs. Bridges, not for the likes of us.
Oh, Mr. Hudson, how can you even say such a thing?
Experience, Rose. That's how I can say it, from experience. I've seen what happens when ordinary people get political.
Oh, that can't be right, can it, Mr. Hudson?
I'm telling you, Rose, you mind your own business and let the politicians mind theirs. And keep the butter knife out of the jam.
One stupid, unnecessary, now you admit that yourself, unnecessary gesture. And your chance of cabinet rank will be ruined forever. People don't forget you. And when we get back into power, you'll be put aside. You won't be forgiven and forgotten.
Well, I don't see it that way.
Well, I do. Yes, and so will they. After all that's been done for you, Richard, it's so disloyal. Oh, hello, James.
Hello, Mother. Hello, Father. Something up?
No.
Good. I've got a friend of mine outside, Captain Charles Hammond, Indian Army, the Guides, you know, really frontier waller. He's messing with us while he's back home. Awfully nice chap. Would you give him a cup of tea while I go and change? We're off to a party. Sorry about that. Come on in, Charles. Now I present Captain Charles Hammond, my mother, my father.
How do you do, Lady Marjorie? Sir?
Well, do sit down.
Yes, do sit down, Captain.
Thank you.
Well, I'll just go and change. Won't be long.
You take milk?
Yes, thank you.
And sugar?
No, thank you.
Sandwich.
No, thank you, sir.
How were things... Oh, I'm sorry.
No, please.
How were things on the northwest frontier when you left? Things pretty quiet?
No, sir, quite a lot going on, really.
Are the Afridas still playing up?
Yes, indeed. You know a lot about it, sir.
Well, as a member of Parliament, Imperial defence is one of my main interests.
And education. I expect it's very, very bleak out there.
Not a bit, it's really quite jolly.
You and James going to paint the town red?
Yes, James is taking me to a party tonight to meet some of his friends. I know no one in London. I have very few of the social graces. James has taken me in hand, but I fear I'm a rotten pupil. I'd sooner be on picket duty in the Khyber than face a drawing room alone. I don't mean this drawing room.
Of course, it's very understandable.
Fancy you to say so. Then we're going to the opera.
James going to the opera, the real opera?
Yes, that's my fault. I'm very fond of the opera. I thought I'd start him off on Rigoletto, all those nice tunes.
Signor San Marco's in great voice as the Duke.
Oh,
Yes, I'm very fond of opera.
June, I think it's the only thing I really miss in India.
We're going to a gala performance of Tristan next Thursday. Herr Richter's found a magnificent new tenor.
Oh, that should be absolutely wonderful.
Oh, my goodness. Did you say Thursday?
Yes.
I thought it was Wednesday. They've called a meeting of the Ways and Means Committee for that evening.
Oh, Richard, no.
Well, I'm terribly sorry, my dear, but I can't see how I can get out of
But
it.
you knew how much I was looking forward to it. Oh, really, it is too bad.
Well, I'll think of something. Well, I'm sure James would love
James and Wagner.
I think I'll
Captain
just...
Hammond, I have no ear for music, so such delights are wasted on me. Would you do me a favour and accompany my wife to the gala?
Richard, you mustn't. Poor Captain Hammond. The last thing he wants is to be saddled all evening with James's mother.
Not at all. It would be absolutely...
Worth it to hear such music.
No. I would enjoy accompanying you so much. It would be an honour.
Well, thank you very much indeed. I'm very much obliged.
There we are. How's that for speed? Ready, Charles?
Oh, thank you very much, Lady Marjorie. Sir? Oh, I hope you will allow me to take your wife out to supper before the opera, sir.
Well, of course, I'm
Yes,
sure.
I'd be delighted.
Till Thursday, then. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
I gather they've pushed you into taking my mother or something?
Yes, the gala next week.
Oh, really, I am sorry. I do wish they wouldn't impose on my friends.
I shall enjoy it, really, James.
You're too damn good-natured, Charles.
Shouldn't have embarrassed that poor young man like that, Richard.
You should be pleased, taking one of the most beautiful women in London to hear some of the greatest singers.
Seems nice. Good for James.
Soul of the earth men like Hammond, I sometimes think we waste them, letting them spend their lives on the far-flung frontiers of the British Empire.
I wonder what makes them want to go out there in the first place.
And my bill, please.
Sir.
Your mother must have been a wonderful person.
Yes, she was. I never really got on with my father. I think the dislike was mutual. He married my mother for her money. He even boasted about it. Her father was a Worcestershire ironmaster. When I was at Oxford, my father took up with a high-born harlot he met out hunting. My mother went to Florence, where she died. It was then that I decided to escape to India.
Don't blame you.
Oh, I don't really approve of nepotism, but I had a couple of relations high in the Indian service, and I pulled every string in sight.
And you found happiness.
Yes. Well, at least every day I spend here makes me want to be back there the more.
Is it dangerous?
The frontier, each step is on the brink of eternity.
The brink of eternity.
The men in my regiment are second to none. They love a scrap. It's the breath of life to them.
What sort of men?
Pathans. Oh, you might think them a quarrelsome lot of cattle thieves, but they're very loyal, hospitable and brave. They smile and look you straight in the eye, and and they'd die to save your life.
I should imagine the women have a thin time of it.
Oh, I don't know. They make ideal wives, never seen or heard, dedicated to cooking, cutting grass, carrying wood.
And what are you doing back here, Captain Hammond?
Well, it's too stupid, Lady Marjorie. I'm not allowed to talk about it.
I shouldn't have asked. Well, anyway, it's given you a chance to compare your old world with your new. You don't find the old any better than before?
No, sadly enough, I don't. I find society shallow and boring, yawning politely at itself, in spite of the glitter and the luxury. I feel there is an air of despair and doom. But I'm being rude and boring myself.
No, sometimes the same sort of shiver goes down my back. I'm glad you like James.
Yes, I'm afraid I think he's rather wasted.
That's just what my husband said about you.
How odd. James has many original qualities that I suspect he inherits from his mother.
Flatterer. Oh, what a dull time I've had compared with you. I've never been further than Biarritz in my life. I hardly take a step beyond the shallow world of society. All my life I've been protected, cosseted, wrapped in a cocoon of fondness.
But you enjoy it.
Yes, most of the time. Till I meet someone like you, then I feel rather cross and jealous.
Why cross and jealous?
Because you have a real life, exciting and worthwhile, which I can never enjoy.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, we ought to go. At least Tristan is something we can enjoy together. Unbelievable. Oh, what glorious voices. True, clear, cut clean through to the heart. At dawn on the frontier, you can see from Kabul in the west, right round in an arc across Kashmir to the great Himalayas, blinding gold in the first light of the sun. The nearest 300 miles away. Clean, hard, pure. That's what's good in life. Like the naked blade of a kukri or the cry of a bird.
The same that oft times have charmed magic casements, opening on the foam of perilous seas in fairy lands forlorn.
But on the paper that the Queen was indisposed, so I suppose Mrs. Keppel was with His Majesty. No, it's not my place to say so, but there are some strange people in the royal circle. Marquis de Saverley's more like a monkey than a man.
You can go to bed now, Roberts.
Good night, my lady.
Night, Roberts.
My dear. No? Well, did everything go off all right?
Yes, it was a lovely evening.
And did he come up to your expectations?
Mm-hmm. Seemed a very nice young man.
I met the tenor.
He was magnificent.
Oh, aren't they beautiful, my lady? Will I do them for the drawing room, my lady?
No, give them to me, Rose. And Take a vase to my bedroom. I'll arrange them myself.
Yes, my lady. Here, which one would you choose, Edward?
Well, I'd let her choose. Who are the roses from, anyway?
An admirer.
That's nice, isn't it? At her age as well.
Well, why not? It's only good manners. Token of esteem.
Roses is symbolic, I've always heard.
What of then?
Love. A rose by any other name would smell lovely.
Oh, Edward, go off for pity's sake.
That one ain't half prickly.
Oh, those roses, my lady, they look really, really royal. They say that flowers like that come from the heart.
Do they, Robert?
And the last couple of days she's been dancing round the room like the Queen of the May.
Spring is in the air.
A bit more than spring, I'd say.
From lady's maid, Miss Roberts. You've got a lot of imagination.
Oh, have I? Well, yesterday she lit the fire with her own hand, didn't she, Rose? Lady Marjorie lit the fire in her boudoir with her own hands.
Why shouldn't she then?
Well, firstly, it's high summer. She was burning a note. That's what she was doing.
A billet doux?
Yes, I saw her do it. With these two eyes just as I came into the room. And you saw there was paper ash in the grate, didn't you, Rose?
Well, seeing as how I lay the fire with paper, it don't exactly surprise me.
Can I help you, madam?
Yes, I was just looking for something for my son.
He'd be a young man.
Yes.
Ah, they like adventure.
Yes, but nothing too trashy.
What about the Scarlet Pimpernel? An historical romance, very fine.
I should do very well, thank you.
I'll get it for you, madam.
Hello.
Captain Hammond. Those flowers, it was very kind of you.
I'm glad you like them. I think, if I may say so, you've been sent by Providence. I was just trying to dig up that quotation, perilous seas in fairy lands forlorn. It quite escapes me.
Keats, Ode to a Nightingale.
Of course.
Pretty volume here. Yes, that's it. Let's see. There we are. I shall buy it for you.
Oh, that's very kind of you, thank you. Could I ask you a favor? Would you read the poem to me?
Well, not here.
No, not here.
Adieu. The fancy cannot cheat so well as she is famed to do, deceiving elf. Adieu, adieu. Thy plaintive anthem fades past the near meadows, over the still stream, up the hillside. And now 'tis buried deep in the next valley glades. Was it a vision or a waking dream? Fled is that music. Do I wake or sleep?
Thank you. Well, there's something else we've enjoyed together.
Yes.
But I'm failing in my duty as host. Can I offer you a glass of Moselle?
I'd like that very much. Do you play?
Oh, only a little. And then to amuse myself.
Oh, I love this one.
Oh, my love is like a melody that sweetly played in tune. as fair heart love, my bonny lass, so deep in love am I, and I will love thee still, my dear, till all the seas gang dry, till all the seas gang dry, my dear, till all the seas gang dry, and I will love thee still, my dear, till all the seas gang dry. You know that I love you, don't you? You're the most beautiful, desirable woman in the world. Darling, you're crying. Why are you crying?
Because I'm happy.
What I did think was a bit funny, the second day running, she's told Pierce she don't need the Daimler and gone off on her own. Now, that's not like Lady Marjorie.
She's probably calling.
Where was you dragged up? Ladies of quality don't go calling on their own flat feet. At least, it's not what we call calling.
I was alluding to the other kind of calling. That's what I was.
You want to be careful. People who open their mouths too wide can sometimes be heard where there wasn't no meaning. She's not like that. Lady Marjorie wouldn't behave like that.
Oh, it's in the blood. Look at Lady Helena, the one they call the Bolter. Well, she was her aunt, wasn't she?
Shh. The Bolter?
It was before your time, Rose. And it's best drawn a veil over.
Well, you can't really blame her, can you? I mean, you only live once, and she can't be getting very much from Mr. B.
Edward!
Well, it's only human nature. I mean, 25 years, always having the same pudding. Well, me, I like a change of diet.
Edward!
Yes, Mr. Hudson?
In there. I thought as much. I thought so from your references. 3 weeks only, and then this. Her ladyship didn't want you. It was Mr. Bellamy that asked me to see you. I saw you, didn't I? And what did I tell you then? Oh, lost your tongue, have you? Well, that's not all you'll lose if you get thrown out of here, my lad. Disgusting, vulgar, dirty. Yes, that's what it is, dirty. The ones I heard you use in there have dirtied this whole household.
Oh, no, look, Mr. Hudson, it was Miss Roberts.
Oh, you're going to tell tales now, are you? I wouldn't put it past you to do anything to save your own dirty skin. Well, for your information, Miss Roberts is Miss Roberts, and you are my footman, and you have let me down. And if ever I hear words like that passing your lips again, young man, you will be out on the street, without a reference. And the same applies if I catch you larking about with any of the young girls, my staff. Now, up you go and straighten up the morning room. Stop! Did I see you smile?
No, Mr. Hudson. No, honest, honest.
Take yourself out of here.
My love, my darling, I'm dazed by your beauty.
I shall have to go.
Oh, no. No. When you're not here, I can't think of anything else but you. The world outside seems so unreal. It's like living in a dull, grey dream.
I know.
I love you so much. You're the light of my life. Stupid, trite words they are. I wish I was a poet or something. Nothing as wonderful as this has ever happened to me before. Can you believe that?
Yes, I believe it. Nothing as wonderful has happened to me before.
You're just saying that to be nice to me.
Nothing as wonderful as this has ever happened to me before.
Oh, it's a miracle. How can a set of dingy rooms in dirty old London turn into paradise? How can it happen? Everything in this room is special, sort of unique. And all because of you.
It's our private world. We're safe here. Nothing can touch us. No one must ever know about it except us. If they do, it'll all crumble, turn to dust.
Never. Never.
You are my only love, Em.
She's almost old enough to be his mother.
Well, what's that got to do with it? Passion strikes where it pleases.
Well, we have that.
What's all this? I'm shocked. I'm really shocked, Mrs. Bridges.
We're all shocked, Mr. Hudson. It's time this was brought out into the open. It's no use shoveling muck under the carpet.
And dirty minds can find muck where there isn't any.
I'll thank you to listen to me, Mr. Hudson. This afternoon, not an hour ago, when I was coming back from visiting my friends in Victoria, I happened to catch sight of Lady Marjorie stepping out of a hansom cab.
Lady Marjorie in a cab?
In Ebury Street. She entered a certain house.
What house?
A house where there are suites of gentlemen's rooms.
I'm sure that's all very interesting.
It was the same house where Mr. Pierce dropped off a certain Captain Charles Hammond on the night of the Gala Opera, and his cards on the door to prove it.
You lot should set up an agency for minding other people's business. You'd have Sherlock Holmes beat any day.
We don't like it, Mr. Hudson. None of us do, but you've got to face facts. Lady Marjorie's gone off the rails and there's likely to be one hell of a crash. It's not as if she's ever done it before.
And if Mr. Bellamy gets to hear of it, he's a mild-mannered man, but he wouldn't stand for it. All society, it'll be the scandal of the year. And this house and family will be blown to bits, and us with it. And we're frightened.
And we've cause to be.
Now, listen to me, all of you. What Lady Marjorie or Mr. Bellamy choose to say or do in their private lives is absolutely no business of ours. We should not inquire into it, far less question it. Our duty is to do our jobs as best we can and to be loyal to our employers. We work for a fine family, people of quality, high up in the social world. No breath of scandal has ever touched this house in my time, and if it does, it is not going to happen through the servants, not while I'm still here. Chattering, whispering servants can spread scandal like rats with a plague. It's mischievous, wicked, evil. I'm surprised at the lot of you. If disaster ever comes to this house through the chattering of your senseless, loose tongues, we'd all be better dead for the shame of it.
To go, my love.
I hate that clock. I must always be going to go.
Darling, you know I have to get back to tea. All the servants begin to wonder.
Damn tea, damn servants, and damn clocks. At school, it always used to be Greek verse between 3 and 4 o'clock. You're not Greek verse. It can't always be part of a curriculum. Oh, love is such a all-embracing thing. It can't live and breathe forever in these two little rooms.
Outside, it'd be destroyed.
No.
Charles, you know the rules.
Damn the rules. We make our own rules. Oh, I know their rules. It's all right if you're not found out. Your friends would know about it all, of course, and snigger and gossip behind our backs. And, well, I suppose they'd be right. But, you know, we make our own rules. 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 We make our o We'd be invited to the same weekend house parties and given rooms next door to each other. Oh, that's not our sort of love, my darling. A beastly, furtive society sort of thing.
I don't think I could face a divorce.
Oh, no, divorce is only for vulgar people. Another of your precious rules.
Please, don't be cruel to me.
I'm sorry, my darling, but don't you see, I don't care. I don't care if you are divorced or what you are. To me, you are perfect and always will be. You are my love, my inspiration. I worship you.
And you are my gentle, perfect knight.
Why not divorce? For us, anything is possible. We must have no fear, no turning back. Together we can open magic casements.
I don't think I'm brave or strong enough to face those perilous seas. Our ship might strike a rock.
I'll hold you up. I dedicate my life to you.
You'd have to leave the army.
Oh, damn the army! Damn everything but us! It must be clean-cut, clean, hard and complete. Italy, America, Australia, I don't mind where. I'll look after you. I've got brains and money thanks to that ironmaster from Bewdley. Leave it to me. Trust me.
Let's stay a little longer in our secret world. Just a little more time.
Of course, my darling. I'm only impatient because I love you so. Forgive me.
Hello, Father.
So, James?
How are things?
What do you mean, things?
Well, haven't you and Mother been having a bit of a tiff?
Oh, that? Yes. Well, that's blown over. Or perhaps adjourn might be a better way of putting it.
Hello, darling. I can't think on earth I've put my list.
Ah, got a new hat for the regatta. Doesn't she look beautiful?
Darling. What's regatta?
But it's the boat club regatta today. I did tell you about it. I've got a picnic and everything. I do hope you're both coming.
I can't possibly, I'm afraid, James. I'm seeing a deputation of constituents, all up in arms about the new sewer.
Oh, well, you'll come, Mother.
Oh, darling,
Dan and Jack are coming, and Reggie Fitzgerald.
They're all so young, you don't want me.
I've asked some old things as well, especially for you. The Colonel and Foggy Dews. Oh, and Charles is coming.
Charles?
Your chum from the opera, you remember. We put him in for the canoe punting race. Should be great, guys. Everyone falls in.
Be careful of that fellow. It's much more important than you think.
Oh, Charlie?
Yes, it's not generally known, and perhaps it oughtn't to go beyond these four walls, but Charles Hammond's a bit of a cloak and dagger man. Adam Blake told me. He's back home advising the Anglo-Russian Boundary Commission.
Oh, good for him.
I don't think I will come, darling. I've so many things I ought to do.
Like having lunch with your husband at the house? I want to show you off in that new hat.
I'd be delighted to accept your kind invitation, sir.
I'm a lucky man. You're looking very beautiful today, my dear.
You're pulling my leg, Mr. Hudson.
No, I'm not, Mrs. Bridges. I tell you, they went off to lunch at the House of Commons like a pair of turtle doves. And I can't say it didn't please me to see them, because it did.
I don't know. Chopping and changing, chopping and changing. No thought for the poor cook. And the air half done.
I'm sure it'll prove very tasty, Mrs. Bridges, with a nice spoonful of red currant jelly. We might even stretch to a wee bottle of wine, eh? I believe a slight celebration wouldn't be out of order on this particular occasion. Maybe this will put an end to all their silly backstairs chatter and gossip once and for all.
I wouldn't be too sure of that, Mr. Hudson. Love can make a woman uncommon devious in her ways.
Your tea, m'lady.
Oh, thank you, Rose.
Lovely day for the regatta, m'lady.
Yes, isn't it?
Mrs. Bridges asked, will you be in for dinner, m'lady?
I don't know yet, Rose. Mr. Bellamy will be late at the house, so ask Mrs. Bridges to put something cold on a tray, will you?
Yes, m'lady.
Mr. Hudson, Mr. Hudson. Don't sugar me like
Mr.
that,
Hudson,
Edward.
the evening paper, Mr. Hudson.
Well, take it upstairs, then. Fancy bothering me with a wee thing like that.
Stop press, look.
my God. All right, Edward, I'll deal with this. The evening newspaper, my lady.
Put it over there, would you, Hudson?
I think I should warn you, my lady, there's the possibility of some disturbing news in it.
What news, Hudson?
On the back page in the stop press, my lady.
Oh, read it to me. What does it say?
Tragic accident at Guards Regatta. Canoe goes over weir. Officer feared drowned. No name.
Leave me alone, Hudson.
Very good, my lady.
Oh, my God.
Captain Hammond, my lady.
Oh,
I came straight here.
God,
I thought you might think it was me
I was
that...
desperate. I don't think I could have...
Your ladyship, ma'am, she's in the morning room, sir. Hammond, you heard about the accident. James wasn't involved.
I came to put Lady Marjorie's mind at rest on the same point, sir.
Well, that's very good of you. Poor Marjorie, you must have had the most awful shock. But you were there. What happened?
Oh, one of the fellas went over in the canoe punt race, got swept over the weir. He's all right, though, as usual. The papers exaggerate.
Well, thank the Lord for that.
I think I'll go and lie down, if you'll excuse me, Captain Hammond.
Of course, Lady Marjorie.
Can I get you some tea, a drink?
No, thank you, sir. I really must be on my way.
Well, you must have a dinner with us sometime before you vanish again. I want to hear all about your exploits.
I'd be delighted, sir.
When are you due back to India?
Well, that's really up to me.
Well, let's make it soon. I'll speak to my wife. Hudson, will you show Captain Hammond out?
Very good, sir.
It was very, very good of you to come. Thank you.
Goodbye, sir.
Oh, hello, Father.
Hey, James.
That Charlie Hammond I saw dashing across the street?
Yes, he was here. Told us all about the accident at Maidenhead.
Only old Dickie Napier of the Grenadiers. Couldn't drown him if you tried.
But nevertheless, your mother was very upset indeed when she heard the news. Frankly, it was extremely thoughtless of you not to let her know you were safe and sound.
I never went near the regatta. The adjutant got the collywobbles at the last minute, and I had to take his place on a blasted court of inquiry. I telephoned Mother all about it before lunch.
I must have got it wrong.
Many happy returns of the day.
Thank you, Mother, for the splendid book. It was just what I wanted. I've even had a letter from Elizabeth. First time she's ever remembered.
Oh, she's growing up.
I'm afraid she doesn't think much of France. All froggies have hands like wet fish and smell of garlic and scent. And the women are like black toads. But the food is gorgeous and I'm stuffing myself like a Strasbourg goose. I can just see her. Well, at least there's nothing about the poor and underprivileged. She misses us all and can't wait to come home.
Well, that makes a nice change.
No, I think I'll introduce her to old Charlie Hammond.
Oh, why?
Well, he's such an odd fish. He'll probably see something in her.
I can't see Elizabeth as a mem side.
She'd probably start a new Afghan war, and then everyone would be happy. Now, I must be off. Now, here's her letter. There's a P.S. in it for you. She wants some more tinkle or something. Do you know what Charles said when I told him I was 24?
No, darling.
He said you were more like my sister than my mother. Isn't that nice? Hello, Father. Thank you so much for the cheque.
I hope you find it useful. My dear, can you spare me a few moments? I want to talk to you very seriously about us. The House is voting on the education bill sometime tomorrow after tea.
Oh.
The next bit I find very difficult to say, even though I've been rehearsing it for several days. I've been pig-headed, obstinate, ungrateful. To you and your father and the family. After all that Arthur Balfour and the party has done for me, it would be a monstrous impertinence even to think of abstaining from voting. I shall vote against the bill, like the good Tory and the good husband, which I hope I am. After all, as you put it yourself, it's a simple question of loyalty. And that's the most important thing in our lives. Much more than our passing whims and passions. A.J. wants me to intervene. If you could manage to be in the gallery tomorrow between 4 and 5.
Well, I can't promise, but I will try. Will you be back to dinner?
I don't think so. We shall be at it hammer and tongs for hours.
I won't be long, Rose.
Oh, where are you going then, Mr. Hudson?
She said I was to take it round myself.
Oh, it's like delivering your own death warrant.
Yes. That's about it, Rose.
I got your note. I couldn't get away before. I'm sorry. What is it, my love? Tell me, what has happened?
Charles, I can't go on with it.
Can't go on with it? What do you mean, why? Has your husband found out?
No, I found out about myself.
What are you talking about? Only yesterday you said you couldn't live without me. Tell me, what has happened?
Oh, if only I didn't have to hurt you so. If only we could put the world back and start again. But it's too late, Charles. I'm a weak, cowardly woman. I haven't your strength. I'd never follow you. I'd drag you down in those perilous seas.
But we haven't even tried.
I'm too frightened to take the first step. Oh, and it isn't only that. My roots are too deep. I suppose the cruelest thing is that it's only through your love I've learned the sort of person I really am. You see, I have a husband who has been faithful and thoughtful to me always. I have a son and daughter who love me. I haven't given back much in return, but I do love them. Not at all in the way that I love you, but very much. They need me, Charles, and I can't abandon them. I suppose you could call it a question of loyalty.
So you're going to abandon me?
Yes, Charles.
Tell me, how are we going to live without each other?
We must have the courage to do what we know is right. Oh, I have loved you as I've never loved a man and never will again. These have been such wonderful days.
Yes, the most wonderful days.
They're ours for always. Locked away inside us, and only we have the key to open that magic casement. And when things are bad, I'll open mine and I'll look out and see your face. And all my troubles will vanish.
I had this for you. Please take it.
Goodbye. My only love.
Yeah. Your speech has caused quite a stir. Even the editor of the Times seems to approve.
It's one of the best speeches I've ever heard you make, Richard. I was very proud of your father.
You having lunch here?
Yes.
I thought you were going racing.
Yes, I was, with Charlie Hammond. The most extraordinary thing, he's vanished into thin air. Not so much as a buy or leave. Well, back to India, presumably. No one seems to know why.
These Secret Service chaps move in the most mysterious way.
Ivor has a story he's been jilted by some girl, but I don't believe it. I mean, can you see Charles with a girl? So frightened he can hardly open his mouth.
I'd like to go to the country for a few weeks. Southwold's so lovely this time of the year, with all the roses out. And in a few weeks, I'll come and fetch you home.
Luncheon is served, my lady.
Thank you, Hudson.